The Denver Nuggets fell into the one trap they cannot fall into against the Timberwolves, overextending the minutes of Jokic, Murray, and Gordon, and more specifically, playing them extra minutes in the second quarter stint where they got outscored 28-10 anyways, thanks to an undisciplined offensive attack against the Timberwolves' small ball lineup. This might determine the series, and it echoes what happened in Game 7 back in 2024. Let's go to the tape to break down exactly what happened in those minutes and how the Nuggets can win those minutes as the series shifts back to Minnesota. We're going to look at every single play here in this entire 10-minute run, and we're going to start with Big Val on the court. Played just 3 minutes. Rudy Gobert's on the court, and he was fine for 2, but this sequence here where the Timberwolves score 6 points was a killer. You're going to see Ant backing down Jamal Murray. Gobert dives, and you see the double team coming from Big Val. Right here, you've done your job. He's getting ready to shoot a baseline fall away, or at least you're going to have him trapped in the corner. Just hold your position and wall off. Big Val falls for a fake, which opens a window for Ant to get all the way to the basket. So you get a bad possession there. We go forward to the next play. You try to get the ball inside, out of bounds. You get another opportunity at it. Tim Hardaway pull-up jumper, and it's off the rim. So we go the other direction. 2-0 run so far. You go the other direction, and you're going to get a play here. All right, Bruce gets it knocked out of bounds. Kind of talks to Ant. You can see Ant didn't take too kindly to it, and this is where the run begins. But here's where the problem happens. You get to the corner, you close off and run him off the line. Big Val is late to step up. Already here, you're probably giving up a basket, but worse if you give up the and one. So Val's giving up the and one. They're going to the line. It's a 4-0 run. We go to the free throw. Misses. Here, I'm going to rewind this. Misses, but Big Val gets bullied for the rebound. So now they get a second chance point. Get Ant into the lane, and he draws a foul. So now you've got 2 fouls drawn, and you're going to give up 6 points on the free throw all in a row here, and Big Val is going to check out of the game. They also bring Gobert out, and this is where things get interesting because this is the Timberwolves' strategy. Gobert goes out, and now you have a small ball lineup. Adelman counters by going small and bringing Spencer Jones, Aaron Gordon. They're going to be your centers now. And so now you have this switch everything lineup both directions. Denver's got to be smart with the ball. The lead's down to 10 points. You get Aaron Gordon in the post, which is a great option, and McDaniels gets the foul call. It looks soft from this angle, but you can see from this one, he just kind of gives him, nudges him off, puts 2 arms into him, and they call the foul. On the ensuing play, though, Spencer Jones gets the foul, and you're going to see the screen here. Spencer Jones has to be smart when he's out there. This is now 3 fouls in 2 possessions for the Nuggets, so you're allowing them to get into a situation where they're in the bonus or close to the bonus. But here you go, 5 out. This is the key. Minnesota wants to go to this 5-out lineup because it's a very good offensive lineup. So Denver has a defensive lineup in there that can switch everything. Now you're just going to have to get stops. You can see AG out on the perimeter. Good job of walling up. And this is a great play. This is a great pass by McDaniels. Gets the ball, quick touch pass, and you get a shot to Randall. And Adelman calls a timeout here. And he puts Jokic back in the game. And I understand why. You were just up 19 points. Now the lead's down to 8. So there's a little bit of a panic. But here's the problem. Jokic played all 12 minutes, and you're going to bring him back in at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. This is going to change the entire game. So when you come out of the timeout now, you're going to go back to Jokic. But now you have Jokic in the game against a small ball lineup. There's no Gobert in there. They're going to be able to play 5 out. They've got shooters all over the court. So they're going to have a good offensive advantage against Denver. Denver has to be smart in their possessions the other direction. You have Jokic on Randall here, and in my opinion, you should be playing through him. You get this mid-range from Jamal Murray. That's a good shot. But let's watch the flow here. In this lineup, the Wolves are very prepared for what they want to do. They want to attack Jokic in pick and roll with 5 out. So there's everybody is spread thin. You go empty corner, Julius Randle screen. Jokic has to recover, and he does a bad job there. Bad angle, but again, this is an advantage for the Timberwolves because spreading 5 out and making Jokic guard on the perimeter is tough. You got to go to Nikola inside here, though. This is the key to counter it. You're giving up perimeter flexibility, so you got to be able to go inside. Murray hits a tough jumper here, which is nice. Randall screen. Jokic has to guard it. Now he's out. Go back, and I love Randall here. Patient with it. He's not just trying to jack threes because Jokic is out of position. He's patient, and I hate how much Christian Brown comes over in the gap. He's way too far to be able to stunt over and get back to DiVincenzo. Would you rather give up Randall attacking downhill or DiVincenzo wide open 3? You get him out of position and you give up a wide open 3 to a shooter. Leads down to 7. Oops, you go the other way. And here's one of the traps. You want to run, and I think you have to run, if you have opportunities like this, but you have to convert them. Minnesota wants to speed Denver up. They like this if it's a track meet because they have their fast, spready lineup out there. So you miss a layup, which would have pushed it to 9 points. To 9 points. And now you have to guard a 5-out offense in transition. Yoke steps up. And this one you actually get a rare miss. But here's another one, falling into the trap, playing fast. When you have momentum, you have a lead, that's great. But Minnesota didn't have to guard here. They didn't have to go into the paint. You have a rebound advantage. You have a paint advantage. And here you get 2 transition shots, neither of which fall. Go back the other direction and just watch how deliberate Minnesota is on these. They're constantly going to try to just get out, spread the court, and make Denver guard in the perimeter. You get an and one here. McDaniels goes to the basket. Aaron Gordon's a little bit slow on his feet. Let's go the other direction here. Do we go inside to Nikola? Aaron Gordon Murray goes to the basket. Another quick shot. This shot goes up. There's 16 seconds on the shot clock. 3 straight quick shots, 3 straight misses, and now you have a foul on Murray. They challenge it, but nothing changes here. So now it's Minnesota ball. Jokic in pick and roll, 5 out. He has to guard somebody. He's on McDaniels. And do you want Jokic stepping up and switching on Dosunmu? That's actually what the coverage calls for. Jokic drops back. Cam Johnson misreads it for a second, has to get back. But still, you're in a tough spot because you're asking Jokic to constantly play pick and roll. They're going to go at him every single time in 5 out. Are you going to attack him on the other way? Quick. 16 seconds on the clock. Miss. So here you have a paint advantage, 4 straight possessions that are an 8-second fast transition shots, 4 straight misses, and you haven't taken advantage of your size advantage in this lineup. Back to the pick and roll with Julius Randle because Yoke's in the drop coverage. Back to being patient. He says he could have taken that 3, he could have driven, but instead he says if you are sagging off this much, quick pitch to Anthony Edwards, and now Jokic has to guard Ant in space, and it's a foul. Very deliberate offense from Minnesota in these minutes. Not very deliberate for Denver. Crazy possession, trying to get the ball to Jokic. Ball gets tapped around a whole bunch. Just a little bit of chaos. Finally, you settle in. You get CB driving, kicks out to the corner. Missed shot. Again, it's a good shot. It's not that this is a bad one, but what is Minnesota hoping does not happen? They're hoping Jokic does not get the ball in the paint and put pressure on him that way. And that time he only touched the ball in the chaos. So once again, 5 straight possessions. Jokic is not in the post against the small ball lineup. Come down the other way, exact same thing. We're just going 2-man game, trying to get Jokic in space. Ant does his thing, goes to the basket, and what was a 19-point lead is now a 1-point deficit. Let's see if Denver gets disciplined on offense on this possession. Up, it's transition, scramble, you're just playing chaotic. But you get Jokic in the paint, and we get a goaltend. So our first paint touch in 6 tries results in a basket. Let's go the other direction. And it was still chaos, but Denver was able to get the ball inside. Now Denver comes up out in a zone. So they're going to try to zone and press out, and you can see how hard Minnesota was so decisive here on not trying to take bad shots. They know they can get good ones. A little drive, kick, swing. This rotation is Nikola's, but he's not going to be stepping out on a 5-out lineup to run all the way to the corner, so they just concede another wide-open 3, and they hit it. Minnesota now 6 possessions, 6 times they have gotten exactly what they wanted and scripted in their workouts. Denver, 1 of 6. Here's Nikola trying to attack Julius Randle. You get the ball out of his hands. Let's go back to him. We'll call this a paint touch, even though it's just slightly outside the paint. Nikola is nice and takes his time, which is another key. Minnesota wants you to speed up. They want to make these minutes fast and turn their small lineup into a track meet. Nikola slows it down. You get the double team because they're too small, and you get a wide open 3 from Jamal Murray. That one was good. 2 of 7 now for Denver maximizing it, maximizing their advantage. Same thing. We're in a zone. They're very patient. They know they're not trying to get something quick. They're going to be very patient, get into the paint, try to swing the ball around, find the open guy, Anthony Edwards, and they get what they want. They are so in rhythm here because they know they can get these shots playing 5 out. Nikola far from the basket here, and again, slows it down. This is a good possession, draws the contact on Julius Randle. Now we go here. I like it. Quick little side entry. Because they're so small, there's no rim protection. You have Naj Reid out here, and you have Julius Randle out here. So your rim protection is going to be, is that Mike Conley? Yep, and you get a nice dunk here. So that's a good possession from Denver. 3 out of 8 now. I'm being deliberate. You get Julius Randle isoing Jokic in the perimeter. Again, shooter. You have 4 out with Randle just getting to iso Nikola. You're in man-to-man. He gets around him. They get their advantage. They press their speed advantage against Denver's size. Get another basket. They are perfect so far in getting the shots they want in these moments. Jokic does a good job of driving here, but you have to convert a miss. This is a good shot. You should be trying to get him at the paint, but you can see they are so focused on not letting Denver rebound because that's Denver's advantage. Missed shot. Let's go the other direction. 5-out basketball, just be deliberate. You can see they're not trying to do anything crazy. We have a mismatch now. Julius Randle on Bruce Brown, and they're doing what Denver needs to do, which is once you get this table set, everybody clear out, and let's force the defense to come help. Defense comes to help, and now you're scrambling on the other side. I told you Nikola's not leaving the paint to guard the perimeter, so you can find wide open three-point shooters. Small ball, 5-out lineup versus Nikola. And we already have ourselves with a little bit of a back to the wall. AG draws a shooting foul here, and he knocks down some shots. A little bit of a bailout, to be honest. Minnesota should be more disciplined defensively. Going the other direction, still 5-out versus Nikola. Now he's on Ayo. Clear everything out, make teams guard in space, put Jokic in pick and roll. Now he's out. You get a little bit of a deflection, not bad. Timeout, and they're going to load up back over here. And a blown coverage here. So you have AG on. There's a little bit of a runaround. AG thinks they're switching. Tim Hardaway thinks you're not. And as a result, they're scrambled. 5-out defense, no rim protection, and they get another basket. Denver comes the other direction here. They run the little C option. Now, here's the thing about this. This isn't a bad look because this play calls for Tim Hardaway to cut through like that, and then Jokic pops out for a three. Now, why are we calling this play out, and why are we throwing to the first option, which is the curl inside? Is this the advantage? Tim Hardaway Jr. against two defenders, Jokic popping for three against a small ball lineup. It gets blocked. Denver recovers, swings it around. I mean, kind of a lucky break here. And then you get a Nikola Jokic three-pointer. One of 3 shots he took in this 8-minute stretch. 3 shots. One of them was a three-pointer. Going the other way, now you got to defend in space, defend in transition. Denver gets a tip. Go to the next one here. And they do a good job on this one, I believe. So here you have deep corner for Anthony Edwards. He likes his matchup. CB in the gap. Wall him off, force the rotation. CB should have ran after this one. I don't know why he didn't. But here it is, 5-out, and now Nikola's out on Dosunmu. So Jokic has to guard with all of this space. Denver should do a much better job. I mean, Nasri is no threat. Christian Brown should be much over in the gap so that Jokic can sort of understand where he's going. He's not, and as a result, Ayo gets around Jokic and right to the basket. Their advantage is speed and 5-out. Denver's advantage is inside. How much have we seen inside so far? Jokic still playing that dribble handoff game despite the fact there's no rim protection, and we get an Aaron Gordon 2-dribble pull-up outside the foul line against a lineup that's just praying you don't go inside. Misses that shot as well. Denver's process in this, it's like they do not know what their game plan is against this lineup, and look at how much the lead has changed in these 8 minutes. Pick and roll with you put Jokic in action again. They missed this one, but what a wide open shot. Look at how easily they're getting the exact shots they want. Screen, pitch back, screen again, put Jokic in space. He doesn't even try to defend. Going the other way. Are we going to go inside to Nikola? That's where the advantage is. Skip pass, get inside, and how easy is this? This is what Minnesota doesn't want Denver to do, and that's the first paint post touch we've had. It's his 3rd shot. He had 1 drop-off, but that's the first post touch he has gotten in this entire stretch. Jokic in pick and roll again. Nasri does step back. And look at this is not a good shot. They're trying to shoot quickly, and it's so funny how different they are when you make a shot and are able to get your defense set versus when you're constantly playing in transition. So even that shot is the worst one that they've gotten in this entire sequence. Now you have Jokic inside. They're fronting the post. And even with this, you still have Jokic putting pressure on the post. He's on the pinch post here, and AG is able to get into the basket, draw 2, and you've done your job because now you have the spacing and the kick out against a bad Minnesota defensive lineup to get a 3-pointer. Save the day a little bit. We get to the end of the quarter here, and let's see what they get into here. Trying to put Jokic in. You can see they're trying to put Jokic in the action. Murray switches off with him on the weak side, but you still have these 5 out. They are 5 out around the perimeter, which is a lot of ground to cover. They settle for a really bad shot. Denver gets a stop here, and they proceed to their final possession. Murray hits the heave, but let's go to the final possession here and see what Denver gets. It's a nice pick and roll. Get Jokic. You have flat spacing, which is Denver's best. 3 players around the baseline. You get it rolling to him. The defense collapses and you get a wide open three. He doesn't hit it, but at least this one is a paint touch for Nikola. He's in the paint for the third time, only the third time in 8 minutes. You get a wide open three. CB has to hit this one. He doesn't. Minnesota obviously has the turnover on the last play, but what are they doing? The same strategy. They know exactly what it is they want to do. Put Jokic in pick and roll with Randall and Ant. Randall goes to here and just travels for some bizarre reason, a really bizarre play from him. And then, of course, Jamal Murray hits a heave with 2 seconds left, which ties the game. So Denver could have been much worse. But when we started this 8-minute stretch, Denver was in a spot where they were up 10 and they finished tied thanks to this heave. But here's why they fell into the trap. Because not only were they not prepared for that, this is what Minnesota believes they're going to win the series on these minutes right here, going small, spreading it out. But where they really won was by bringing Nikola back in with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go, which means he played 21 minutes in the first half. 21 minutes. He finished with 40. Rudy Gobert only finished with 28. If they can lure Denver into bringing Jokic early to play against that lineup and still win the minutes, and they had a 28-10 run in there, that's the trap Denver fell into. Denver ran out of gas. There were big runs in the third quarter, and obviously the fourth quarter was rough. But by virtue of bringing Jokic in against that small ball lineup and not punishing them, they went 8 minutes without playing Rudy Gobert, and they were able to do it because Denver was not punishing them inside. Denver has to be better prepared for that specific rotation. It's going to happen again, and whoever wins those minutes is likely going to win this series.